Well, 13 people died and thousands of homeowners were left without a home following the Great Flood 2 years ago.
As the recovery continues, scientists have some lessons learned. Justin Campbell shares more of what they are watching moving forward.
The Hurricane Center, however.
Hundreds of people packed into the LSU Dalton Woods Auditorium, learning from scientists on what they know now since the historic August 2016 floods.
It's not likely we'll see another one like that in our lifetimes, but it wasn't very likely we were going to see that one, and we did. The point is, it did happen, it can happen, it definitely can happen again.
Professor Barry Keim says the numbers show over the last 30 years the climate is increasingly getting warmer. Scientists can't pinpoint and say the August 2016 floods were caused due to climate change, but they've noticed a link between the two.
There are some consistencies, because when the climate is warmer, it can hold more moisture. And if there's more atmospheric moisture in the atmosphere, that can be tapped by some mechanism to turn it into clouds, rainfall, and eventually rain on the ground.
Keim says it's important to analyze the floods so they can help you be better prepared.
We're getting better and better at understanding these massive, colossal rainfall events, and the forecasting is going to be better into the future as we learn more and more about these storms.
Well, after 2 years, the devastation of those storms is still being felt. Thousands in South Louisiana lost their homes and have spent the last 2 years just trying to rebuild.
But state officials say there is light at the end of the tunnel. Fred Childers takes a close look at how we're getting back to full recovery.
In 2016, flooding in South Louisiana would cause millions of dollars worth of damage. Homeowners and business owners knew they would need help.
But everybody that we know needs it. I mean, where do you start? Who do you help? Because everybody needs something.
Many would have to rely on the state to put them on the road to recovery. And at the time, they had no idea how long of a road that would be.
A lot of folks are still not back in their homes, and those are the folks we're working for.
Pat Forbes is the executive director for the Louisiana Office of Community Development, which oversees Restore Louisiana, a program designed to provide federal aid to help Louisiana families rebuild.
14,000 families have been awarded grants. So they've got either money to reimburse them for work they had already done, or a grant coming from us to get the work done to finish up their house.
Recently, the state held outreach events to get even more people signed up.
Got an additional 3,800 folks fill out the survey, which gets us up to about 53,700 folks who have completed the survey. So that was a big boost. It was a big effort, but it was worth it.
You have here in the notes, no homeowner recovery program has cut checks to homeowners faster than Restore Louisiana. How were you able to do that?
Well, I wish I could say that it was because we were the smartest people around, but unfortunately it is mostly because Louisiana has a great deal of experience with disasters.
Even with that efficiency, the Restore funding could not come soon enough for many, leaving some homeowners no other choice but to go ahead with repairs using their own money.
As helpful as it could be, the process that they have is not a good system, not a good process, so we had to come out of pocket roughly maybe $100,000.
Just weeks ago, Governor John Bel Edwards announced the state would go from a 50% reimbursement rate to a 100% reimbursement rate. The result, more checks going out.
So last week we sent out some 5,400 checks for close to $60 million to people for additional funding. Now that's money they took out of their savings account, their retirement, their kids' tuition accounts, that they'll be able to replenish those things, fix their house up more. So it's going to be a big boost for the long-term recovery.
That full 100% was unbelievable to us. We just did not see how that could happen. So for that to finally come through, it was such a blessing.
And as we mentioned earlier, victims of the flood were still rebuilding. Now they have until October 1st to fill out an application.
Well, so to come, we are one step closer to another flood protection project, this one 50 years in the making. We're going to tell you what leaders have done now, or have now, to finally make this one happen.